Well, the Justice Department investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. The allegation that the leaders impeded the work of nearly 3,000 federal agents on the ground in the Twin Cities. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now. So, Camilo, how does the DOJ make the argument for this case?
Hi, Reed. U.S. officials do, in fact, tell us that the Justice Department has started a criminal investigation into Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz over an allegation that they have conspired to impede federal officers. Those officers, of course, being Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers at ICE and also Customs and Border Protection agents who have been deployed in a massive way to the Minneapolis region over the past few weeks. There are currently about 3,000 ICE and Border Patrol agents deployed to that region of the country to undertake immigration operations, arresting people suspected of being in the country illegally, even though some of the arrests have involved U.S. citizens, and also to investigate allegations of fraud in Minnesota. Frey and Walz, two Democrats, have of course strongly denounced the federal deployment there, which the Department of Homeland Security, Reed, says is the largest in the department's history. And the central allegation that the Justice Department appears to be investigating, Reed, is that Frey and Walz, through their public criticism of ICE, Border Patrol, and the federal immigration operations there, are impeding federal officers, and that they are in some ways engaged in a criminal conspiracy to impede, obstruct, or otherwise intimidate the work of these federal agents. Again, no charges have been brought, but that is the allegation that U.S. officials tell us they are investigating. We should also underscore that Walz and Frey have said repeatedly, Reed, that protesters in Minneapolis should remain peaceful, and they have called the news of the probe by the Justice Department political intimidation.
While we talk about these federal agents on the ground, there's also word from a federal judge putting limitations on ICE when it comes to how the arrests happen or using non-lethal force against protesters. How is the Trump administration reacting to that ruling?
That's right, Reed. Just for context, a federal immigration judge in Minnesota on Friday ruled that federal immigration agents at ICE, Border Patrol, and other federal agencies cannot arrest, detain, stop, or retaliate against peaceful protesters who are not interfering with or obstructing federal immigration operations. That would include, according to the judge, people who are simply observing and witnessing federal immigration operations, and protesters who, again, are acting in a lawful and peaceful way. That also should include a prohibition, according to the judge, on federal immigration agents at ICE and CBP from deploying munitions and chemical agents against peaceful protesters who, again, are not alleged to have obstructed or interfered with, rather, federal immigration agents. The Justice Department has yet to appeal this ruling, but that is a likely possibility, Reed.
We know that you're talking to officials who represent both perspectives in this very large issue in Minnesota. Are you getting any sense that there is room for resolution, a place that this could come to an end on both sides and de-escalate?
It's a critical question. Local officials, including Frey and Governor Walz, have alleged that the only reason the Trump administration has launched this massive immigration crackdown in Minneapolis is because it is a Democratic-led area that has many Somali immigrants, and of course the president has targeted that population oftentimes in derogatory and harsh terms, and they believe that this is all political in nature. But the administration has argued, Reed, that the only reason that they are sending federal immigration agents to the streets of Minneapolis is because local officials do not work with ICE and do not let that agency into local jails. So immigration agents at the federal level can pick up non-citizen inmates, who are accused of local crimes. And so they blame sanctuary policies for the current surge. And there is no indication whatsoever, Reed, that local sanctuary policy will be abandoned anytime soon.
All right, so as we await to see what happens with Alaska members of the military who have now been put on notice to go to Minnesota, we will await your findings throughout the day. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much.